Now, guys, let's just get real for a sec. In this microwave air fryer era of instant gratification, a lot of people want things easily and they want them now. I mean, that's how I want things sometimes, but if we're being real, that isn't the way the world works. Because if it was, you'd see everyone to your left would be making six figures easily, and everyone to your right would have a six pack of abs with no work put in at all. So, since we actually have to work intentionally for the things we want, and we have to build ourselves up to become who it is we want to be, today we're going to discuss my top 3 lessons that you should know to get ahead in your 20s. Now, why should I listen to you? Why are you even on here? Why are you even doing this? The reason why I do what I do is because I know that the Lord Jesus Christ created me with a purpose and I want to live it out to its fullest extent. It's simple as that. Look, guys, the first thing is be excellent, be intentional. Actually try at what you do, try your best. Look, I get it. A lot of times we procrastinate, we don't feel like putting the work in or trying our best. We feel like only half doing stuff. I know I've fallen victim to that trap many times. Like, even with my health, for example, it's real easy to go and work out and put in the work in the gym, but slack off on your nutrition. I know I've done that before for sure, and then wondered why I'm not getting the results that I wanted. So be excellent and be intentional. If you take two guys and have them do the exact same things for 6 months, but the only difference is as they do the same thing, one guy doesn't try at what he's doing. He doesn't put in effort. He just halfway does everything. He does it enough to tick the boxes and get by. But the other dude actually is trying. He's actually putting in effort. He's actually looking at what he's done previously and switching up what didn't work and doing more of what does work. He's getting advice from people who's already been where he wants to be. That guy is being excellent and he's trying his best, and he will end up in a better position than the other dude. Look, the time's going to pass anyway, right? You're going to look up and the 6 months will have gone by. You're going to look up and it'll be next week. You're going to look up and it'll be next year. The time's going to pass anyway. So why not put in the effort and the intention and be able to look back and realize how far you've come? Actually try, put in the effort, put in the work, and you will end up wherever it is you need to be. I promise you that. Look, even if it's a little different than you thought it'd look, you will end up in the exact position that you need to end up in. And look, I'll put you on game. What people really don't get is excellence, discipline, intentionality. All of that is really self-love, if not the highest form of self-love. I'm going to paint a picture. I think a lot of people really get love confused and they're mistaken on what love is. They think it's all about bubbly feelings and what we see in the TV shows and what social media makes us think. But really, as a Christian, I believe and I know love to truly be sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. Think about this. If you're in a relationship with the person and they say that they love you, but they never sacrifice for you, they never compromise for you, they never put in work on your behalf or work on themselves because they love you, well, then that's going to be hard to believe. Hey, can we watch Avengers tonight? Nah, let's watch Titanic. Hey, can we eat this tonight? Nah, I want to eat what I want to eat. I want my way. Hey, it's my birthday. Can we go out? Can we do something? Can we hang out? Nah, I feel like staying in tonight. You're good. If that person never sacrifices for you, they never compromise for you, they never put any work for you, but they say they love you, that's hard to believe. But if you have a person who does all of those things and who does compromise for you and you for them, well, then if you say you love each other, well, then that's easier to believe and your actions are actually showing it and backing up what you say. So it's the same thing for us and ourselves. We can't say stuff like we love ourselves and self-love is important and all that good stuff and then not actually back it up. Sacrifice for yourself. Be disciplined for yourself. Love yourself. Look, real talk, before I move on, there is no greater love and no greater sacrifice than Jesus Christ who sacrificed his life for us. And the same goes for yourself. It's a sacrifice to be continuously excellent at what you do, but it really is one of the best ways to love yourself, guys. Lock in and love yourself. Now, the second one is learn to rest and value your rest. Today, in our culture, we look online, we see social media, the things we hear. We have gurus and people online making us feel like we need to work 25 hours a day and 8 days a week without resting. They make us feel like we're behind if we're not working ourselves to death. However, I can tell you guys, as much as we don't want to admit it, or that a lot of us don't even realize, thoughts like this are just fear and pride in disguise. Stuff like the fear of not being where we think we should be in life, or the pride that comes upon us and that we feel that's born out of comparison. And look, I get it. In this day and age, we tend to view worth transactionally. Like, in a lot of our minds, value equates to what we can do for people, how we can make them feel, if you can get your boss results, if you can make your friends laugh, whatever it may be, that's normally what we tie our value to. And honestly, I can say I've fallen into this trap myself. Like, a huge example of this was when I played high school basketball. And I was like, I'll admit, I was already in a good position. I was already a very skilled player. But because of stuff like we just mentioned, because of the pride of comparing myself to others, I worked myself into the dirt. And instead of getting stronger and becoming better like I'd hoped to, really the exact opposite happened. My body just got weaker from it, and I just became worse. And then to top it off, since my body was in that weakened state, I ended up suffering an injury that ended my entire high school basketball career, bro. After that, I learned this truth right here, that whether you're a Christian and you believe what I believe, or whether you believe something else, that this right here, this is the truth. Just as humans were made to work, right? Just as we were made to work, we were made to rest too. We were made to rest just as we were made to work. No matter what you think, rest isn't something that you have to earn. It isn't this transactional thing that you only get in situations where you're at the end of your rope. And look, I get in life, sometimes being at the end of your rope is unavoidable. Like, let's say that you're a parent and you have your baby in the other room and it's 3 a.m. and your baby needs a diaper change, your baby's crying. Well, yeah, you can't just say to your kid, hey, sorry, buddy, I gotta rest. That's on you. But where you can in your life, set boundaries, make a routine out of resting, learn to rest, and prioritize balance. Now, the third and final point, y'all forgive me for being congested. Oh my gosh, these allergies. But the third and final point is learn from people that are different than you. Learn from people that have different worldviews than you do, people who are raised in different cultures, in different households, in different environments, different states, different countries, whatever the case may be. Learn from people in different careers than you. That's one thing I absolutely love to do. Now, I'll say growing up as a young person, especially in this era, it gets so easy to live in an echo chamber with the same ideas bouncing back and forth to you. And nothing's wrong with that to a certain extent, but there are times where that can be very negative and detrimental for you. If you live, or if you're in your 20s rather, I should say, then it hasn't even really been long since we've been in high school or college. And those two things, depending on how you go about them, really can be the biggest echo chambers of them all. A lot of the times with the current narrative or the current issue that's spun, it's put out there and framed in a way that's us versus them. It's us versus them. It's them versus us. And narratives like that have been spun and regurgitated to us over and over again for decades and really centuries now. That narrative can just shape your perspective in a way that makes it so one-sided and blinds you to what everyone else thinks and what everyone else has to say. And I'll be the first person to admit I've fallen into this trap more times than I'd like to say. It's so easy to fall into, and I'll say it's easy to fall into because it's comfortable. Let's be honest, it's comfortable. It's comfortable and it's easy to stew in your thinking and your emotions, to let them seep. It's easy to let your pride blind you and make you think that your worldview is 100% correct. Or I'll flip it around, and this is a crazy one. It's easy to get blinded by your pride and make you think that the other side's worldview is 100% wrong. It's easy to let it blind you and deafen you. Think about it that way. Now, I'm not saying, right, hear me correctly, I'm not saying that being in a community with like-minded people is wrong, because there's nothing wrong with that. But what I am saying is that remember, the difference between medicine and poison is the dosage. It's the dosage, so switch it up. Talk to people who think differently than you. Look, I'm going to challenge you all first. Before I go into what I'm about to say, please use your judgment. Please use your judgment.
Do these things within reason. Don't go out and do anything crazy or wild, please. But what I'm going to challenge you all to do is this week, step out of your comfort zone and have an intentional conversation with someone who thinks differently than you do. Just be intentional about it. I know a way I love to be intentional is prepare the questions, right? Think about what you want to ask them first instead of scratching your head and going into the conversation. I was just wondering. Like, no, prepare the questions, put some effort in, and actually be intentional. You get in what you put out, as we talked about earlier. Prepare some questions. You can even reach out, email, text, call. Hey, I just wanted to talk to you. I just wanted to have lunch and ask you about so-and-so. You cool if I ask you some questions? Bring a notebook, take notes, write things down, and truthfully sit there. And even if you don't agree, just listen. Just listen to what they have to say. Now, that is all I have to say today, you all. Look, remember with this kind of stuff, not to sound cliche, but it really is about progress and not perfection. If any of this helped you out at all, or even if you disagree with it, then please let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear it all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see ya later.